To date, more than 54,000 acres of cover crops have been seeded and nearly 238,000 feet of terraces have been built in Lee, Henry, Van Buren, Des Moines, and Jefferson counties. The state says it's been so successful at improving water quality that now it's time to expand and add on edge of field conservation practices. Think things like bioreactors and saturated buffers. Shelby Kluver sat down with Iowa's Secretary of Agriculture to find out how you can get involved.
All right, Secretary, thank you so much for joining us today. You got thousands of acres of cover crops seeded through this program. You've got your thousands of feet of your terraces. Talk to me about what the next stage of the water quality initiative has going.
And we're really excited. This is a project that's actually been in one of our targeted watersheds, the South Skunk, and has shown some great success and predominantly around cover crops and some traditional conservation practices like terraces. And now it's all about going to the next level. What can we do? Some of our projects that we authorize, some of them expand their geography. Others have a good geography already, and this one's got multiple counties already in the project area, in the targeted watershed. And what they're going to be looking at is expanding the types of practices that they're really focusing on. And when we look at the Iowa's nutrient reduction strategy, it's really a menu of options that farmers, each particular field can be used in each particular field. So some of those are in-field practices like no-till or cover crops. Others are at the edge of the field. So things like bioreactors, saturated buffers, wetlands. And so that's what's going to happen in this next phase is to start to look at those edge of field practices that are treating the water that are leaving those fields.
Yeah, talk to me about how effective when we talk about edge of field conservation practices. Why are these so important?
Well, it's about trying to layer these practices together. Some operations, cover crops make all kinds of sense. You've got cattle or the landscape that supports it, or maybe you're a little further south in the state and the weather is more conducive to it versus elsewhere. Other times, it's just flat out that the way an operation is, or the way a particular field lays, that one practice is better suited for that field than another. And again, what we're trying to do here is to remind folks, one, that every field is different, every conservation plan is unique, and that really we want to work with farmers and landowners to put the right practices in the right places. And again, when you start to layer that together, you start to put cover crops together with a bioreactor, you use no-till and a nitrate reducing wetland, or terraces and no-till. You start to layer those benefits, you see great returns on that investment, both in terms of soil erosion prevention, building soil health, and improving water quality. So this is a really important tool in our toolbox, is to be able to tailor make a conservation plan for each field. Edge of field practices are a big component of that.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's something that we've talked about before. These kind of projects not only are a win for the farmers that implement them, but for the surrounding communities and the waterways as well. But let's talk about those farmers quickly. If someone wants to participate in this, what is the cost burden?
Well, first of all, we've got many entities that have stepped up to be a part of this. I think over 20 different partners, certainly involving the USDA, but also our local soil and water conservation district, but also businesses and organizations in the area. So there's the really the value of that is just to create more awareness and more folks that are involved and can talk about the project and can help recruit folks to the project. And so one, we really want to make it easy for farmers and landowners to say, hey, I'm interested. How do I get started? Come into the county conservation office, talk to one of these partners, and they ought to be able to help you get plugged in. Typically, these practices are done on a cost share basis. Now, when it comes to edge of field practices, because most of the benefit is actually accrued downstream or by the community, we tend to pay a little higher cost share rate. And so in some cases, a practice might be entirely paid for. And really, what the landowner is contributing is the land. Other times, there's a cost share, like cover crops, for instance. We offer a certain amount of assistance, and the farmer or the landowner pays the rest. So it depends. But that's the point: is we want folks to to walk in or pick up the phone, ask that question. That's our job then, is to help walk folks through that and put together a really good package.
Secretary, thank you so much for joining us today.
You bet.
All right, if you're interested in learning more and potentially signing up for a program, you can head over to WQAD.com and click the As Seen on TV tab. There we have instructions on how you can contact project organizers.